In this left-hand turn, you'll now see the aircraft collapse around 6 to 8 feet away from each other as they form short diamonds. Leading the team is Red 1, he's squadron leader Jim Turner. It's Jim's third and final year as the team leader. He's a former Jaguar pilot, but he's got lots of display experience. He displayed the Jaguar, spent 3 years previously in the Red Arrows, including leading the Synchro pair, and he has spent 3 years as the official advisor to the Royal Saudi Aerobatic team. Now to the left, this is Short Diamond. Rex 4 and 5 picked up to roll back rapidly into a shape known as Apollo. Smoke on Reds 2 and 3 now acknowledge the move to Eagle. They do so with very metronomic cadence in their voices. The idea being that on the count of 4 in their heads, the pilots extend their air brakes, and on the count of 6 they retract their air brakes, and that enables the 3 aircraft on each wing to drop back in unison to form Eagle, ready for the Eagle roll. Going into his barrel roll with jets go upside down, and this is where the pilots will see you waving, everybody! So far, Red 1's leading the rolling display, but this big blue sky is coming our way, so let's hope it changes to a full display very shortly. Well, when the Red Arrows formed in 1964, ready for that first season in 65, the aircraft they used was the Folland Gnat, and that was the advanced jet trainer in the Royal Air Force in that era. And in 1976, the Hawker Siddeley Hawk entered service with the Royal Air Force, and in 1980, the Red Arrows started using the Hawk as their aerobatic aircraft. It's now a product of BAE Systems. It's a very successful export aircraft. It's been sold to 19 countries across the world. Out to the front now, the smoke goes off. Reds 4 and 5 have moved forward. They're about to reverse this turn. 4 smokes come on as they show us a shape called flanker. You're about to see a very wide shape form now. Red 8 and 9 are going to move to the outside, and from Red 9's left wingtip through to Red 8's right wingtip, the formation will now measure 100 metres or 300 feet wide. So to enable them to manoeuvre as one unit as they fly around the sky, the outside pilots really have to anticipate their control inputs, so they do so by using the very set cadence in Red 1's voice commands. But now in from the left, let's have a big round of applause. This shape is Phoenix. On the leader's right wing is the first of our new pilots this year. He is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu is a former instructor and display pilot on the Tucano. I think you saw it displayed here earlier on. He's taught basic fast jet training, and then operationally he flew the Tornado GR4. Out to the right, the smoke goes off. The boys have formed our trademark shape, and in true 70s style, all 9 jets will now smoke in the diamond roll. Now the big wave, please, everybody! Well, we fly our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side, the even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. In their 3-year tour with the team, the pilots generally start at the front near the leader, and as their proficiency improves, they move further back. On the leader's left wing is the other of our first-year pilots. He is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. Joe's a former Hawk instructor, and then he flew the Tornado TR4. In fact, Joe is the only pilot on the team who has instructed on this version of Hawk, which we call the T-Mark 1. He's also instructed on the Royal Air Force's new advanced jet trainer, the Hawk T-Mark 2. Red 1 just said he's going full, ladies and gentlemen. There's that big blue gap. The smoke goes off. This is a very iconic shape. It's of a supersonic airliner, ready for the Concorde loop. Pulling up at 400 miles an hour, 4 times the force of gravity in Concorde. Another formation change now as the jets reach 6,000 feet above us. They slow down to about 150 miles an hour, and you can see the shape of the feathered arrow. Well, back in the 60s when they designed this shape, they thought feathered arrow was a bit of a mouthful to say on the radio. So we call this formation Fred. Well, that is the end of the first half of the Red Arrows display, ladies and gentlemen. So far you've seen all 9 aircraft together performing close formation aerobatics. We're now going to split down into sections of 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 aircraft and show you some more dynamic manoeuvring. At the front of the formation are Reds 1 to 5. We call them Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back, Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9 are known as Jippo. Jippo was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the Pack 4 when the Red Arrows started flying nighting displays officially in 1968. Directly to the front now, you can see that the boys are in that very wide Phoenix shape again. They're about to roll out and point directly towards us, so now it's definitely time to get your cameras ready as they start the second half of the display. Reds 1 to 5, 8 and 9, pull up in Phoenix. Keep your eyes on the blue smoke synchro pair beneath. This is the Palm Split. With his blue smoke going off on the left-hand side is Red 6. He's the leader of the synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. It's James's 3rd and final year as a Red Arrow. He actually grew up in New Zealand, but transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002 and became a Hawk flying instructor and Harrier pilot. On the left, he is followed by Red 8. Looking right, with the smoke on is Red 7, chased down by Red 9. These 4 aircraft are now closing at 850 miles an hour. Get your cameras ready. This is the amazing Jippo Pass. Synchro pair leave their smoke on. They're turning away from us now at 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. That means everything in their bodies weighs 6 times more than normal. These pilots are working really hard to counter the G-force. They're going to roll up towards us to fly the Cyclone. As the synchro pair slingshot out to the front, you need to look to your left for Enid. The wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V shape. Now look right. With the smoke on is a low jet. This is Red 9 who's going to fly the Goose. With a red, white and blue stripe is Red 9 Flight Lieutenant Mike Child. It's Mike's third and final year with the team. He is a former Hawk instructor and Hawk display pilot. Operationally, Mike flew the Typhoon, the Royal Air Force's new advanced multi-role combat aircraft. Now look directly to the front, we're looking for the synchro pair. Pulling up in line astern at 500 miles an hour, 5G. Jets reach a height of 7,000 feet and on comes their white smoke as they get ready to draw us a heart. Keep your eyes to the top left of the heart, you'll see another jet approaching with his smoke on. This is Red 8. He is Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. He's a third-year pilot with the team, a former Hawk instructor and Hawk display pilot, and then operationally Martin flew the Harrier GR9. Ladies and gentlemen, Red 6, 7 and 8 with their heart and spear. Watching left and right with the synchro pair, they're about to descend to just 100 feet, and they're going to perform the opposition barrel roll. The next call you'll hear from each of the pilots is threshold. That means they've reached a geographical point on the ground, which is their contact point to continue the manoeuvre. Joined by Reds 8 and 9. In fact, Red 8 is still joining the formation. He's been flying around at 600 miles an hour after drawing the spear in the heart to join into 7-ship Vixen. White smoke's on. Pulling up in Vixen. Towards us through 90 degrees in a quarter clover. Now get your cameras ready. This is the vertical break. Comes from our right and Red 7 from our left. They're closing at 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in opposing 360 degree 6G turns. Here they come with the white smoke on, ready for the carousel. Now watch at each of these 3 crosses, they're going to swap their smoke colour using the individual colour control buttons on the aircraft's control column. And now you need to look at your right 45 degrees. Shape called Leader's Benefit. They're about to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. Of that Leader's Benefit shape is Red 4. He is Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr, and Ollie's a second-year pilot with the Red Arrows. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but he has also spent a tour as a Hawk flying instructor at Royal Air Force Valley on the Isle of Anglesey in North Wales where we train our advanced flying students. Well, the Python finishes over to our left. Crank your eyes further left to find Jippo. Red 6 and 7 now roll upside down. 8 and 9 start their rolls in the corkscrew. Red 7 there working hard, flying his jet only 8 feet away from Red 6, but doing it while he's upside down. Now look to your left to find Enid. The inside pilots perform tight match rolls to the outside of the formation in the rollbacks. Enid finish their rollbacks. Keep your eyes down to the right hand side. Eventually you'll find the 4 headlights of Jippo. Once again, Red 6 and 7 roll upside down. Now 8 and 9 match their formation underneath. In from the right, this is the mirror pass. And let's give the synchro pair a wave as they fly past upside down, everybody. Protracted rollout call enables them to roll out into a 4-ship square card formation. Now look right 45 degrees for Enid. Reds 1 to 4 form a box formation. Now the 5th jet starts to roll around them a dozen times. This is the Twister. Red 5, he's Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve's a second-year pilot with the team. He's a former Hawk instructor and operationally has flown both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4. While the Twister finishes over to our front left, you need to look now directly ahead for Jippo. Reds 8 and 9 roll around 6 and 7. They then roll. Get your cameras ready. This is the Jippo break. With his smoke changing from blue to white on the right hand side is Red 7. He's synchro number 2, Flight Lieutenant Mark Lawson. It's Mark's second year with the team, and his background is solely on the Tornado GR4, where he spent 3 tours. He flew over Iraq, Afghanistan and Libya, and became a qualified weapons instructor. Well, the synchro pair now descend for their final manoeuvre of the display in the double rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's have a round of applause for the synchro pair. Displays finale. joining into that 7-ship Vixen formation. The white smokes come on. Get your cameras ready. This is the Vixen break. We're the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! Just put his smoke on, that's to enable all the other 8 aircraft to get visual, so they can gather all 9 aircraft together and fly back to Portrush Airport, where our team of engineers are now going to service the aircraft, ready for our transit home to our home base of Royal Air Force Scampton, just to the north of Lincoln. If you'd like to find out more about the team, then please go to our website, which is raf.mod.uk/events. So our website, raf.mod.uk/reds, and on Twitter, @RAF Red Arrows, Facebook, RAF Red Arrows. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is not quite it. You might have seen the jets have turned left to reform out in front of us. They're going to give us one last fly past before they head back, so you can get a last photograph or two of the team before they recover back to Portrush. So in a couple of minutes' time, you'll see the jets come back in big battle formation, that shape they arrive to start the show. But something a little bit different in this fly pass. What the pilots will do is they will extend their air brakes. So the air brake is a panel that hangs down at the back of the jet, and we put that out to create drag, and that slows the aircraft down. A secondary effect of having the air brake out is that you need to have a higher power setting to maintain speed, and that higher power setting gives us a very deep colour in our red and blue smoke. The smoke is just diesel fuel that is injected into the aircraft's 400-degree engine exhaust, and that makes it vaporise. The white smoke is pure diesel, and to get the red and blue we add a dye to the diesel. We can carry 5 minutes of white smoke and a minute each of red and blue in a specially modified container beneath each of the aircraft. So you can see that formation just forming to our left-hand side. But now it's your time to perform, ladies and gentlemen. When the pilots fly past, they're going to put the white smoke on, then they will put the coloured smoke on, and that is what I want the biggest clap and cheer you can possibly give. I have a radio in my hand. What I will do is I'll raise my left hand and I will press the transmit button, so that when your cheer is very loud, then the pilots will be able to hear how much, hopefully, you enjoyed the display. Did you enjoy the display, ladies and gentlemen? This radio is from World War I. This will be twice as loud as that. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are. It's the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're now heading back to Portrush. I've got to fly back there now. I've got a very friendly warrant officer from 665 Squadron here, Mr. Danny Ray, and I'd like to say thank you to Colonel Paul Campbell for allowing him to fly me up here in one of their aircraft for Portrush.